This is Disney Entertainment News Today. I'm Rob Whiteside, and here now are the top Disney entertainment stories for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the final installment in Marvel's unlikely intergalactic heroes trilogy, opened with $114 million in its domestic box office debut, boasting the second biggest theatrical release opening of 2023. This is about $50 million less than the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which premiered at $146 million, according to Variety. Even so, the team behind the newest Marvel film was hoping for a loftier opening figure, at least $120 million. Now, Volume 3 opened to less than the previous installment in the franchise, which pulled in $146 million, but that was back in 2017. However, it made significantly more than the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, which had an opening of $94 million 9 years ago in 2014. IMAX, Dolby, and other large format showings accounted for 40% of the film's opening weekend ticket sales. IMAX netted $10.7 million in North America and $25 million internationally. For Volume 3, the next few weeks will be critical to the finale's success, as highly anticipated summer movies are due to be released for the summer blockbuster season. The releases begin with Fast X, coming to theaters on May 19th, and Disney's live-action The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey, premiering on May 26th. If Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 fails to create more financial momentum before these other films release, it may have a similar fate to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This Marvel movie started strong with $106 million opening before collapsing at the box office, not even reaching $500 million worldwide. This low ending to the trilogy continued to deflate hopes that Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe can maintain a high revenue profile. We'll see. Dancing with the Stars Season 32 will air on ABC again, alongside Disney Plus streaming, Variety reports. The first 30 seasons of Dancing with the Stars aired on ABC from 2005 to 2022. Now, Season 31 streamed exclusively on Disney Plus in 2022. Season 32 will air on ABC and stream on Disney Plus on the same day. It will be available the day after on Hulu. As Variety pointed out, the move is probably due to the Writers Guild of America voting for a strike as negotiations over royalties and residual payments from streaming content reached a stalemate. Scripted TV will be significantly impacted by the strike, so networks will rely on unscripted shows like Dancing with the Stars more than before. Dancing with the Stars Season 32 will premiere this fall. Cast members have yet to be announced, but Alfonso Ribeiro will continue to host alongside new co-host Julianne Hough. Well, as we mentioned, studios such as Disney and Warner Brothers Studios are starting to demand that writers must perform non-writing duties and may have to act against their guild's own mandates during the writers' strike. This week, Disney and Warner Brothers Studios sent out letters to their showrunners employed by its various studios. The purpose of the letter was to remind the writers and producers on strike that they are still contractually obligated to perform their non-writing services. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the letter from the legal department of ABC Signature, owned by Disney, says, quote, "We want to specifically reiterate to you as a showrunner or other writer-producer that you are not excused from performing your duties as a showrunner and or producer on your series as a result of the WGA strike. Your personal services agreement with the studio requires that you perform your showrunner and or producing duties even if the WGA attempt to fine you for strike. Your duties as a showrunner and or producer are not excused, suspended, or terminated until and unless you are notified in writing by the studio." The letter was written by an assistant chief counsel for the Disney-owned ABC Signature, Bob McPhail. We also noticed that the date on the letter was May 3rd, which was the second day of the Writers Guild of America strike. Writers have been on strike in Los Angeles and New York since May 2nd and are seeking increased wage floors, viewership transparency from streamers, and protections against the use of artificial intelligence, among other issues. They spent 6 weeks negotiating with Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, Discovery Warner, NBC Universal, Paramount, and Sony under the umbrella of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. In a statement provided to Deadline, the AMPTP said that they, quote, presented a comprehensive package proposal to the Guild last night, which includes generous increases in compensation for writers as well as improvements in streaming residuals. The letter from Disney also features a Q&A that informs showrunners that they are required to perform duties that are not in line with the guidance provided by the WGA to its near 11,500 striking members. The letter specifically states that showrunner and or producers, quote, may, along with other non-writing services, be required to perform services commonly referred to as A through H services as a producer. According to the Q&A part of the document, the A through H services include cutting for time, assignment of lines to other existing characters occasioned by cast changes, instructions, directions, or suggestions, whether oral or written, made to writer regarding or screenplay, and more. The WGA rules strongly forbid union members from performing the aforementioned duties during the strike. Quote, the rules prohibit hyphenates, members who are employed in dual capacities, from performing any writing services, including the A through H functions. This puts showrunners and writer-producers in a very difficult position. The second season of the Disney Plus series Star Wars Andor is expected to resume despite the writers' strike. According to Variety, quote, similarly, while Andor executive producer Tony Gilroy is not on set and no longer writing, scripts were locked in before the strike. Sources say he still is working as a producer on specific non-writing elements like casting and scoring for the Disney Plus show. Andor began production in November of 2022, so there's a good chance that much of the filming has already been completed. To see a copy of the letter, including the Q&A section from ABC Signature, go to our website right now, WDWNT.com. Jamie Foxx is still hospitalized more than 3 weeks after he suffered an unspecified medical complication. Foxx's daughter Carrie shared on Instagram on April 12th that the actor had, quote, experienced a medical complication, but was already on his way to recovery thanks to quick action and great care. A source told CNN at the time that Foxx was not transported by an emergency vehicle and the complication did not happen on the set of Back in Action, a Netflix film Foxx was filming at the time. Foxx remains in the hospital, and TMZ says sources close to Foxx ask fans to, quote, pray for Jamie. More details about his condition are still not available, although friends have periodically reported he is awake, alert, and doing better via People. Foxx hosts and executive produces Beat Shazam, a musical game show on Fox. Production on Season 6 was set to begin a few days after Fox's hospitalization. Filming reportedly is starting on May 3rd with a new host. Corinne Foxx usually DJs on the show, but will also not be appearing. Production on Back in Action was paused for a day, but picked up with the schedule changes and stand-ins for Foxx. Foxx portrayed Marvel villain Maxwell Dillon, a.k.a. Electro, in 2014's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Max Dillon was an Oscorp engineer who gained his electricity-based powers after falling into a tank with genetically modified electric eels. Happens all the time. He reprised the role for the multiverse crossover of Spider-Man No Way Home 7 years later. Foxx voiced Pixar's first black lead character, Joe Gardner, in Soul. The film was released direct to Disney Plus on Christmas Day 2020. It follows Joe Gardner, jazz pianist and music teacher, as he learns about life after a near-death experience in New York City, and he's joined by 22, a soul who is yet to live on Earth, voiced by Tina Fey. The film was positively received, and Foxx's performance as Gardner was praised. Foxx himself is a classically trained pianist. Soul was nominated for Best Sound at the 93rd Academy Awards and won the award for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Score. Joe Gardner is currently represented at Disney's Hollywood Studios with a Fab 50 character golden statue. And finally, as we reported last week, Carrie Fisher received a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. The award was accepted by her daughter, Billie Lourd. Carrie Fisher received her posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Thursday, May 4th. She was most famous for playing Princess and General Leia Organa in the original Star Wars trilogy, revisiting the role in the more recent films as well. Family, friends, and fans gathered in Hollywood for the event. Fisher's daughter Billie Lourd both participated in the award event and played a role in the Star Wars universe. On Thursday, she accepted the star on her mother's behalf. Previously, she also played Resistance Lieutenant Connix alongside her mother in the final Skywalker saga films. According to Star Wars News, Lourd remembered realizing the intense and widespread affection Carrie Fisher's fans had for her mother and the famous character that she played, Princess Leia, while attending a Star Wars convention as a child. Quote, "It was the first time I realized how widespread and deep people's love for Leia was," she said. "People waited in line for hours just to meet her. People had tattoos of her. People named their children after her. People had stories of how she saved their lives. It was a side of my mom I had never seen before, and it was magical." Mark Hamill also attended the event. He is known best for playing Luke Skywalker and receiving multiple awards and nominations for voice acting performances across different media, including animated show series and video games. He received his star in 2018 for his outstanding work. Quote, "Today may the 4th be Carrie Francis Fisher Day," Hamill said at the start of the ceremony, which was also attended by Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams, the director of Star Wars The Force Awakens and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Hamill and Lourd both made comments on Fisher's life. Hamill recalled she, quote, "was so charming, so funny, so adorable, so wise beyond her years, and brutally frank." For the absolute latest in Disney entertainment news, head on over to WDWNT.com and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying this show, and we always hope you are, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to WDWNT TV on YouTube for more great content, and you click that bell for notifications. Also, select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. And if you enjoy Disney movies and TV shows, don't forget to join us for our weekly review show, Deep in the Plus. We do that show live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find previous episodes available on demand right here on WDWNT TV. For the worldwide leader in Disney parks news and entertainment, this is Rob Whiteside saying, don't have a good day, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.